As you may have heard, an asteroid half the size of a football field is set to whiz by Earth Friday afternoon. We've got the Post's Brian Vastag standing by, but first, we'll take a look at our planet's rocky past with asteroids, forgive the pun. Most recently, an asteroid almost the same size as the one flying by tomorrow plowed into Siberia in 1908, leveling trees for about 1,000 square miles. About 50,000 years ago, one of similar size is believed to have made the mile-wide meteor crater in Arizona. And then there is that object, believed to be about 6 miles wide, that hit Earth 65 million years ago, and we all know how that ended. Lucky for us, this latest space rock is going to miss us by about 17,000 miles. The Post's Brian Vastag has been following it, and he's here now to tell us more. So this one's going to miss us, but like we just saw, these kinds of things can do some damage. What would have happened if it did hit the Earth?
That's always a fun exercise, right? To play the game of what if this rock hit the Earth. And it's big enough that it would have exploded with an impact several hundred times bigger than the bomb that exploded over Hiroshima at the end of World War II. If something like this size hit downtown Washington, the city would be flattened out to maybe the Beltway. These rocks are dangerous. Even the ones that seem pretty small. 150 feet is about the height of a 15-story building, an office building, so it might not seem that big, but it's coming in at a velocity faster than a bullet, about 8 times faster than a bullet. So they're moving really fast. And
you reminded us in your reporting that this is just one of millions of these space rocks that are out there. When we were talking earlier, I think you said the Earth is in a giant cosmic shooting gallery.
Right.
What are people doing to find these things?
So NASA, at the behest of Congress, began looking for dangerous asteroids in 1998, which happened to be when 2 big Hollywood movies came out that had asteroid impact scenarios. Congress got interested, gave NASA a budget to start to look for the big ones, the ones that are about a mile big or bigger, which could really be catastrophic. But these smaller ones, as you might expect, are harder to find. Especially if you try to look inside the orbit of the Earth towards the sun, where we think a lot of them are hiding out, because if you turn a telescope there, you're going to get blinded by the sun. So it's really tricky.
You mentioned earlier kind of a crowdsourcing type of approach that's happening. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, there are a community of amateur astronomers out there who like to look at new pictures of the sky every night as they come in from telescopes that make their data public, and look for things that are moving against the background of stars. That's how you find asteroids. So what happened in this case was there was a dental surgeon of all professions. He was, the story goes, he was out on his boat in the Mediterranean and likes to look at data from a telescope in Spain. And he happened to see a little blip that was moving across a couple of frames, and it had not been cataloged. So he alerted the people at that observatory in Spain, and sure enough, they said, yeah, this is a new asteroid. This one was found just a year ago, and we would not have had time to launch any kind of space mission to deflect it. So this one, if it had been headed for Earth, the only thing we could have done is find out where it was going to hit the Earth and then try to evacuate it if it was going to hit where there are people.
So if people had found something catastrophic, hurling toward Earth in enough time, what would we actually be able to do to stop it?
Basically a few different options. One is the nuclear option. Launch an ICBM, nuclear missile, towards the rock, not with the idea of breaking it up, because if you break it up, you may just turn it into a bunch of little pieces that will all hit the Earth, but with the idea of nudging it, just pushing it out of the way a little bit. Another option is something called a gravity tractor. And all that is something heavy that you park near the asteroid, and its gravity just tugs the asteroid a little bit. And all the strategies would be, have the same goal. Just nudge the rock a little bit. You don't have to move it very far if you get enough advanced warning.
Great. Well, thanks for coming by, Brian.
Thank you.